You are watching and listening to Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and your favourite podcasts.
Right, Chris.
All right, how are you doing? Doing better than I am at the moment because I've pressed the wrong button. Here we go. Yes, there I am. Oh, what a day! What a day! Been for my eyes tested. They put that stuff in my eye, and I can't see a fucking thing. I thought they're supposed to help me. It's for my diabetic tests, and they put some stuff in my eye, and I'm like, what the? I can't see a bloody thing now. It's a good job I was walking. Anyway, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, good day, goodbye, hello, wherever you are in the world. One of those things will apply to you. This is LTID TV1 from Leicester Till I Die. Thank you for joining us live on YouTube, if that is your viewing choice, or Twitch, if that is your viewing choice. And, of course, if you are listening to us rather than watching us, and how can you not watch us? I mean, look, there, those two absolutely handsome, suited and booted guys. Yes, I can understand probably why you are listening now rather than watching. Thank you via your favourite podcast platform. We do appreciate it. Please join in with the show. It is the prediction show. Have a laugh and a joke. And if you're watching on catch-up, don't you put your predictions in because it's too late. It'll be too late, I tell you, too late. But it is the prediction show. I'm here with, my Rachel Riley, I guess you could call him. No, you couldn't really, could you? It's more like your Jimmy Carr. Here we go. It's the prediction show. That's the smartest we've ever looked, Brad.
It is. Wait now, I'm just doing this countdown. So you do 6 times 7 divided by 75, times that by 3, and you get some form of fucking number. That's the best Rachel Riley you'll get from me, because no doubt I'm going to get somebody telling me, you've got me points wrong. Of course, Chris might make that mistake, folks, because he has...
Go on, get it out of the system.
He has delusions of a grand nature. He got so excited, guys and girls, and this is what you call premature celebration, because he wasn't doing so well, bless him. And then Brentford played Crystal Palace, didn't they, Chris?
They
played
did.
Crystal Palace, and Brentford won 2-1, and Chris was delighted. Yes, he said, I've got 3 more points in the prediction league. That puts me on 7 points. Until he realised that he talked himself out of a win for Brentford and went 2-1 Crystal Palace. Oh, well, Chris. There's always this week, isn't there, mate?
No, there's not, because I'm ending the show now. The league is stupid. I hate the fucking show, and we're never doing another one of these all season.
Okay, then, well, that'll be another season that I finish ahead of you in the Premier League predictions.
Well, you couldn't finish much lower than me. I'm not bottom because of alphabetical order, and the guy that is the guy that is bottom didn't even put any scores in last week. So, but oh my God, what are we going? Let's just say a few hellos. Kyle is in. Hi, Kyle. How are you? As is Craig. Kyle is loving the intro. Thank you very, very much indeed. Nate is in. How are you, Nate? Welcome along. Andrew, you're late because you're still waiting for your... Can I just say, right, don't start me on my every parcel, because I got a reply from the customer services saying it will be with you today. And then 2 hours later, I'd got, it won't be with you today. We're not delivering it today. So that would have been 2 days they would have missed me. They then decided to deliver it later on that day, so I wasn't prepared for it. And did they leave it? Did they hand it to me? No. Did they put it in my safe space? No. Did they give it to my designated neighbour? No. They left it right down by the entrance where anybody can walk in and take it. So I'm still not happy with every. I'm not happy with every. Neil, good evening. Chris from Wales. I'm not from Wales. Oh, you're from Wales, Neil. Sorry. No. I'm going to say, I've never been to Wales. John is in, as is Highfield. Hello. Now, a little bit late because I was trying to sort out a VPN, and it's but we're getting there eventually, hopefully. Yes. Anyway, so moving on to we'll forget last week's scores. Nobody wants to know last week's scores or table, do they?
Oh, yes, they do.
Oh no, they don't.
Oh, yes, they do. Come on, boys and girls. Everybody tell him.
Look, nobody's asking
table.
for it. Nobody's asking for it. So
Everybody in the comments ask.
you're a child. You know that, don't you?
I am.
All right. Let's get it out the way. Here's my humiliation. We'll look at the scores first of all, and those were last week's scores. Man United 1-0 over Fulham, who obviously we've got tomorrow. Look, I with that one saw a bit of it. Fulham were very wasteful. Man United, according to Sky, got a wonder goal. It wasn't. It was a goal. It was all right, But Man United got away with it. I must admit, looking at those results, apart from sort of Newcastle, was obviously I think we all got probably Arsenal. After that, though, I mean, poor Chelsea. What we're going to say about Chelsea, Brad? But what a game on the Monday night.
Yeah, it was the best game of the week, if you ask me personally. I mean, I'm not biased at all, but the No Hopers managed to somehow wrangle a draw away at Leicester City, and it was a good game, though, Chris, wasn't it? It was great to see. And do you know what's really funny as well, Chris? Well, I shouldn't say it's funny. I don't know how true it is either, but £65 million for a striker who couldn't finish his dinner in front of a packed house at the King Power has now apparently got himself injured.
He has. I was going to say yes. I didn't know where you were going with that one, but you've gone where I thought you might be.
So let me see if I've got this straight. A combined total, if I remember the figures they spent for them correctly, of 125 million for a Brazilian who looks lost in translation, who has scored about 5 goals in 7 years. Literally hasn't done anything of note since his season at Everton. In Richarlison, and an injured one season wonder at Bournemouth. Well done, Spurs. Keep on Spursing.
And look, everybody was saying yes, it wasn't a particularly good first half from us, but they had over the whole match they had 13 corners, and 5 shots of their 10 I think it was shots they had were blocked. You know what that? Yes, it's not necessarily we weren't attacking or doing much that half, but we were fucking well defending well.
Yeah, we were, Chris. At the end of the day, if you stop the ball going in your net just as many times as they do, you can have more results. And let's face it, even if the points deduction comes late on in the season, and we kind of are well embedded into the season, and it's kind of like a sting in the tail more than a "oh God, here we go" thing. This was always going to be, this is going to be a tough season. We are newly promoted. We always say this: history is exactly that. It's in the past, and yes, we've got a good reputation over the last 5 or 6 seasons in the Premier League. With what we've achieved. I think Jamie Vardy might have told Spurs fans how much we've achieved.
Love it.
I know, but also now we are, like I said, compared to Southampton and Ipswich in the greatest respect, we're probably the team that's the tougher of the new boys. In terms of we've got a bit more quality in the squad, and we've got a bit more oomph about us, if you will. I mean, fair play to Ipswich. They've got players from league that they've had since League 2 days have gotten there. They deserve this shot or all the same. But my point stands is, Chris, it's not as easy, you'd probably say, for teams to come up against us compared to Southampton Ipswich. But it's still not going to be easy for us, Chris. And we showed that in the first half. And whether well, I mean, the man with a gambling and drinking problem says we were embarrassing against Spurs. Can't have been that embarrassing if we was only 1-0 down. I just saw that by John's comment saying that about Merce. I mean, I love Merce sometimes, but I mean, we can't have been that embarrassing because we were that embarrassing. We would have been 5-0 down.
I think he
Funny
was.
enough,
I think
Chris,
he
the
was
last time he
more.
was, yeah,
I think Merston was more embarrassing than we were.
yeah. In fact, I hate to say it, but the last time we was embarrassing in the, you're still trying. The last
No,
time
no,
we
no, no,
was,
no. I'm saying that's maybe why he was embarrassing, allegedly.
maybe the last time we probably were truly embarrassing in the Premier League, ironically, was away at tomorrow's opponents.
Yes.
Remember that 5-3 game when we was, what was it, 5-0 down before we scored 3 goals out, and out of sympathy. That was probably our last embarrassing performance.
No, I would agree. But all right, let's have a look because we're going to have to do it. Let's have a look at the table. There it is. Anyway, moving on to.
Oh no! I didn't quite see that, Chris. We've got a non-competed. So who makes up that bottom 3 again, Chris?
No. Go back and watch it.
Oh yeah, the ninja eyes. I'll tell you what, Chris, just pop it back up. Come on, admit it. Because next week it'll be me there. You know, Karma's going to come and get me. So just take it now, and you get your revenge at some point this season. Oh look, I mean, the biggest surprise in there is Luke. Luke's up there in 6th place.
I know, how the hell. I mean, Spencer. I mean, did he have a crystal ball or what?
He had a very good week. I mean,
I know.
all correct results, spot on. 15 points, starting the pack. Great work by Kate to keep up with him on 12 and 2. It shows you, though, how important getting a result is right. Because if you take 3 points off the likes of me, Doug, Jeff, we're right down there with you, Chris. It just shows how important. Well, for Chris's sake, it shows you how important it is to get the result in the right number, in the right order as well.
How important it is not to change your mind.
Exactly. I mean, to be fair, you would probably be 17th, and I'd feel sorry for Wayne and it's done alphabetical because Steve didn't give any predictions. And you could be there next week if you have another bad week, because we don't know yet because Steve's still in the chat, but I cannot remember if he said he wanted to do it again this week. So you're probably hoping he doesn't turn up and says he's back.
Leave him there. Leave him there. Don't worry. Right. Just knock the smart off, and we'll leave it as Steve and think it's Steve Lynex. Don't worry. Yes, not a good week. Not a good week, and that's without a points deduction from Brad. But anyway, well, should we look at this week's games then?
I don't know. Let's talk more about it. Nate's top 3. Craig makes top 4. European positions. Doug. All right. Go on then, Chris. I suppose it is a prediction show after all. We might want to talk about things we're predicting.
Yeah. Andrew, no, you cannot watch the game live on the Foxes Hub. You can listen to it on the Foxes Hub, but you can't watch it, I'm afraid.
Or you could be here and listen to Chris as he watches it and tells you what's going on.
That is very true. Thank you, Mr. B&Q.
You're welcome, sir.
Right. So we start off with the Saturday morning game, Brighton versus Manchester United. I've got to say, I do actually feel a bit sorry for United fans because they would just probably love a 3:00 Saturday kickoff. I can't remember, apart from the last game of the season when we all kick off at the same time. They are messed about something rotten. Now, trying to get from Manchester down to Brighton for potentially 11:00 to be able to get into the stadium or 11:30. I mean, what the hell? I mean, TV, it's just wankers, isn't it, Brad?
Yeah, it is, but it couldn't happen to a nicer set of fans. However, I mean, Manchester United fans, you say, like, stick a plaster over a crack and it doesn't change anything, the crack's still there. Well, that's what I feel has happened to Manchester United this season, because it's funny how things were repaired, but now there's talks of Sancho going to Juventus. So you didn't repair no relationship. You just let bygones be bygones, so that it didn't, so that he could move on in peace and get going. They struggled against Fulham, Chris. And all right, to be fair, Scott McTominay, I think it was. I could be wrong. I remember it being a number 10. A Man U fan or someone who knows shirt numbers will tell me different. Missed goal of the season contender. Although apparently Chelsea missed that last night themselves, but that's Europa Conference League. Did you know that Enzo got booed at half time and fans were moaning about him passing the ball backwards? Tried to warn you, Chelsea. Tried to warn you.
We did. We went on, and I really feel bad because I can't remember his name, but we did go onto a Chelsea channel and we did warn them, like you say.
Yeah. In regards to this game, though, Brighton and Hove Albion, now they've gone very niche, haven't they? A 31-year-old in charge. And what a start to the season. And that will bring me later on in the show how I think their opposition, Everton, are going to do this season. Because they were ruthless, Chris. They had a goal ruled out. It could have been 4-0. They're top of the league anyway, I believe, still, because nobody outbeat them. Yeah. It was a pretty low-scoring opening game. Normally you get some crazy results in there that mix it up. And I thought they were really impressive, Chris. It's at Brighton as well. Manchester United fans, if I was you and you're thinking, I'm going to get myself a burger and a pint at the ground, I would save you money and get ready to go down to Brighton Beach. I know Chris dropped his pen there at hearing about saving money, because I think it's going to get worse for you, Chris. I honestly do. Craig LTID, not Craig Paddy, because there's two Craigs in this league. One slightly better than the other. Craig's gone for a Desmond, your favourite score to predict, Chris. I've gone 2-0 Brighton. I just wasn't convinced by United to think, suddenly the old United of old is cooking and they're going to do something. Brighton look a good side, and that, to be fair to them, Chris, they've kept the majority of their players. And if our number 40, Bonetta, is anything to go by what they've got, why they've kicked him out and what they've got left at the club,
if that's who they can afford to let go, bloody hell, have a 5 from Brighton to win the league. I so very nearly started with the Desmond.
Oh no, go on, Chris. Go on, do it.
However, as might come back, this is fucking 2-2 now. Right. I'm going to get mad.
Guys, you heard it here first. He said he was going to go for a Desmond, and now he's going to make a different prediction. So if he messages me at the weekend and it finishes 2-2 saying, get in, I've got 3 points, I'll make sure he doesn't forget it.
I'm not convinced by Man United. Like you said, they weren't that particularly good against Fulham. They're selling a lot of players. I mean, how can you say that Sancho's not going to work in your team?
It's like Jude Bellingham not working in your team. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I can't believe I'm still saying this, and Brad's gone off to do I don't know what, but maybe it's better we're not watching. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Man United are still kind of in a transition period. I was saying this time last season. Do they look like they're ready? I mean, I asked the question that people were saying, Leicester City Premier League ready. I don't know whether Man United are.
Wow, that's questionable, isn't it?
I'm either going to go 2-2 or 2-1 to Brighton.
I'm not going to change my mind. I'm going to make it out of the decision. I'm going to make it there and go with me gut. And he says 2-2 and he changes his mind. I don't know. You can't get the commitment these days.
I'm going to stick with 2-2.
We need a button, Chris. We need a button. That's a third 2-2 already this season on the tally chart.
You're only one behind me, mate. Don't go mad.
No, I only went 1 last week.
Yeah, you're one behind me. We're not this week yet.
Well, you've gone 2-2, so that puts you on 3 for the season. He's on a roll.
we've not finished this week yet, have we?
I know, that's what I mean. So you're already on there. And sorry, I just realised my battery low on my laptop, so I'm just sorting my charger out. So
okay, no problem. Whilst you're doing that, Craig has gone 2-1 to Man United, as indeed has Kyle. Andrew's gone Man United. Fans only have to travel. It's very true.
Probably
Andrew.
half of them live in Brighton, to be fair.
Neil has gone 2-0 Brighton. Shane, good evening, Shane. He's gone 2-2, so he's agreeing with me and the other Craig. John has gone 2-1 Man United. Jordan has just gone, hey, Chris, how you doing, mate? Nice to see you again. Wayne, evening, lads. 2 customers today. Man United fans thought they'd beat Brighton. Well, can I just say, Wayne, what are you going for? I need to know what you're going for, because at the moment, you and me are in a relegation struggle after one game. Anthony's in. Big up, lads. Just seen the table. Jordan's gone 2-0 Man United. Now, you don't often get a Liverpool fan going on for a Man United win, but he has. So, there we go. And the second game is Crystal Palace versus... Sorry, Anthony's just gone for a 1-1 draw. It's Crystal Palace against West Ham United. West Ham United have gone absolutely Chelsea mad. I mean, how many players are they buying? I mean, last week, West Ham lost to Aston Villa right at the death. And Crystal Palace, as we know, beat Brentford. How are you seeing this one, Brad?
Well, again, West Ham have been playing a bit of Chelsea monopoly, haven't they? They see it, they like it, they buy it. Crystal Palace, it's a shame, Chris, isn't it, really? Because they had a really red-hot end to the season, and then a couple of their players went away on international duty and did well with England, and now they're getting poached by all the bigger teams. This is a curse of actually daring to be a good investor in your own talents and purchasing well yourselves, and you know, the bigger clubs being too lazy to spend the money on it, and then having to pay 3 times the price off you. And I was tempted, actually, after all that, I was tempted to go for a draw myself. Not Desmond, calm down, but I was tempted to go for a draw. But I just feel like I'm going to stand by what I said. They were a little bit unlucky against Villa on game week 1, because they kind of got themselves back into it the same way Leicester did against the run of play, the first shot on target, and then they really upped it on Villa, and then Villa went and nicked it at the end. I think this is going to be an uncomfortable few weeks for Palace until the transfer window shuts and they kind of settle down and find their feet again. So I've actually gone 2-1 to West Ham. And so has Craig. Not Craig in chat, Craig, the better Craig.
Yes. I'm not against West Ham. I think they have gone a bit selling mad. I think they're going to regret, getting rid of David Moyes. I mean, he was forced out. Even he's admitted, at the end, the fans were just being toxic towards him. I'd love to see West Ham struggle because of that, because I think he's a decent bloke. He'd saved the club twice. I mean, look at like when we got rid of Claudio. We were bottom, in the bottom. Well, we're in the relegation zone. And that's different. Moyes had just won on the fucking, a Champions League, but not Champions League, a Conference Cup. But they were nowhere near relegation. I just think it's like another Charlton with Alan Kirbishley. Kirbishley? I did my James Bond there. So I'm going for a 2-1 Palace win.
So just to confirm, so you don't get too excited if West Ham win, that's Crystal Palace 2, West Ham 1.
Yes.
Right, okay, because there's no confusion on the first one because you did your Desmond.
Yeah.
So
Guihu is obviously not gone yet, but he's been made captain. So they're obviously trying to give him as much incentive to stay as he can. And I feel sorry for Palace. You know, you get a good team, and then the big boys come in like vultures and poach. So I hope they manage to keep hold of Gooey. And good luck. Good luck tomorrow, Palace.
It's Guay. He's not sticky. He's not
Grey.
gooey. It's Guay.
Grey. He says, "Fuck off, you," with Brenette. You know what I mean?
Hey, I could have called him
Cornetto. No. What did that guy say? He loves to watch this just to see your attempts at pronunciation of some of the teams.
To be fair, yeah, I can't say nothing about that.
You can't. I did have a giggle, and he did mean it, I'm sure, in a light-hearted way. But he did make me laugh. Look, Fulham Leicester, I'm sure we'll come back to at the end, won't we?
Yes. Anyone that thinks that a Leicester channel would immediately get rid of all the Leicester fans eager to know our predictions in for a Leicester game do not know who we are. We're obviously going to come back to the best game of the weekend after Man City, Ipswich, and the rest.
Yes. Go on then. Do you want me to go first with this one?
Yeah, go on, mate. You get it out of the way. Oh, breaking news, Chris. Breaking news. Press the button. Press the button, Chris.
Give me a little bit more notice of that.
I can't. I've literally just seen the notification myself, and it has been confirmed in the chat, but I'm confirming it now. Give the button a go. Jordan Ayew is a blue. Yes, Leicester City have confirmed the signing of Jordan Ayew, as told by Leicester City themselves on their YouTube channel. There is a short video revealing the signing of Jordan Ayew. So, there we have it, Chris. Crisis averted. Vardy can retire. We don't need any more strikers because we've got a 32-year-old. But there you go. We got a striker, and I know you're not happy about it. But yes,
I've just say, right, if anybody else is happy about it, you must be on a hell of a lot stronger antidepressants than I am. I'm doing a show 12 o'clock tomorrow with Rich from Eagle Eyed Football. He will be coming onto the channel and giving us the lowdown on Jordan Ayew. Do you know what his average goal scored per season has been while he's been in the Premier League?
9.
7.
That was close enough. Our
goal fearing times are all over, aren't they?
Oh yeah, come with the man and come with the hour. He's here to stay. Them 7 goals are gonna keep us up. Look, I did say to you though, Chris, his experience. His experience. He knows where the goal is.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't know where the goal is. If he knew
where
the
the
goal
is, better than Daka, doesn't he? He might be able to help him when he comes back.
Excuse me, 7 isn't a lot better than Daka. What are we doing? I mean, yes, I know we're going for experience. We have actually now got, I think it's the 3rd or 4th oldest outfield in the Premier League.
Which is mad when you consider we've signed a 21-year-old, a 20-odd-year-old, 23-year-old.
I'm just. Oh, thanks for bringing me back, Steve. Yeah. I'm just wondering. Look, I'm 63. Only got a right foot. But I just wondered if there's any chance you might want to buy me. You do? Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. Yes, yeah. I can get my boots on. Yeah. I've got my own pair. Yeah. Don't worry. Yeah. Brilliant. I'll be down in the morning then. Cheers. You take care, Steve. Bye-bye. Yes, there you see, I can get a game.
Oh, wow. We're in then, Chris. Everything's solved. We've got Chris to Ayew to Vardy. I can see it now. It's a dream trio.
We have made 2 purchases with a combined age of 64 years old.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Well, I mean, look, he wanted him in. He got him in. It is what it is, Chris. It's somebody who knows this division and can play well, and he's probably right now, like I said, whether for whatever reason out of favour, Cannon, you know, and a Daka out for 2, maybe even 3 months. So probably Christmas time before we see him again. I mean, it'd be a Christmas miracle if he comes back and scores a goal. We do need a striker that knows his division inside and out. Again, we'll see, Chris. I hope a bit like I say with Skip. You know, you're probably hoping in a weird way he does prove you wrong, and like I'm hoping.
Oh yeah,
Skip
don't get me
proves
wrong, I do, but there's better options out there. Why couldn't we have paid the harsh tax bill for him?
Yeah, that does get me.
You know, I mean, that would have been a better value than buying this old age fucking pensioner. What a waste of 8 million quid, 5 million with 3 million add-on. Why?
I don't know, mate. I really don't. But
what a
hey,
waste of fucking money.
could have brought a
John
midfielder for 20 million.
What is John Robkin doing? Does he know his fucking job? No, that's a joke. That is a joke.
Well,
Fucking
you know, then he does. He does, doesn't he, John? He looks ecstatic. I think he's his new best friend.
He's fucking 33. Fucking hell. What have we given him? An 8-year contract, I'm guessing.
Maybe. I'm just trying to see more about it as well. And my camera keeps flashing at me as well. So
no, he's not, John. He's shit with assists. He gets 1 assist every 11 games. That's his Premier League record. He gets a goal every 7 games. He gets an assist every 11 games. Is that going to keep us in this division? Is it fuck? So he's shit with assists as well. Only thing he needs is assisted fucking living because he's that old.
Well, funny enough, Chris, I do work in a care home. There is spare room, so maybe I can get him moved in there. Cheap rent.
I'd sooner have Ian Marshall, Neil.
Ian Marshall and his forever falling socks.
Yes. And what was Wayne saying there? So how many goals would make Ayew a good signing, lads?
To be fair, if he's going to play, let's say he plays 20 games starting 12 of them or whatever. Let's say he plays half the season and it's a half start, half sub appearance and he gets 15 minutes here and there. I would take anywhere between 7 to 10 goals.
I mean, our strike force is going to be Vardy, Daka. He's not going to go anywhere before the window's over because he's injured. Cannon, whom managers don't seem to like, and Ayew. Wow, I have got to say, fucking hell. I mean, Southampton must be shaking in their fucking boots at facing us.
Chris.
I tell you what now, I would sooner have Daka. I'd sooner have Daka in the starting lineup than Jordan Ayew.
Well, you heard it here first. It here first, folks.
At least he can run into the box. Ayew will be stopping just outside the penalty spot to have a breather on his old machine. Fuck, you know, to have the king of oxygen. I mean, Jesus Christ almighty. Look, I hope it proves me wrong, but...
Well, we'll have to see, Chris. Hey, this is fantastic because, as you know, Chris, I didn't tell you I'd actually got it, but I'm going to the cup game on the 27th. See Tranmere. I might get to see him make his debut.
Well, Craig Bird has just commented there. I see him as a bench player who will come on with 20 minutes to go and run his socks off. Clearly not a prolific goal scorer. No, he's fucking not. And he's not the main striker we're looking to sign, but a solid, experienced player. Experienced or old? That is the question I'm going to be asking Rich tomorrow. When does a player stop being experienced and becomes too old? That's what I want to know.
Wow, that is a good question. Could be this. You know what? The more you go on about it, Chris, the more he sounds like your version of my Ayew Perez.
Oh my God! I'd sooner have Ayew Perez.
I mean, I'm not going to go that far just yet because that become a show all on its own if I start saying I want Ayew Perez back in the squad.
Oh, at least we'll get a few. You know, I mean, I dread. Do you know what contract we're giving him?
No, but if things are to be believed, I believe the way Leicester have done this, and the reason they've done this is for the PSR and the FFPs. They've given him a 3-year contract.
Oh, great!
So
He'll be 36 then. When in the third year of his contract, he'll still be a spring chicken.
Yeah, he will be. But I suppose
I'm going to start supporting Nottingham Forest.
How dare you slander us? How dare you?
Come on, get my mind off this because I'm fucking pissed off now. Manchester City, Ipswich. Ipswich, you're going to get stuffed. I'm going 4-0 Man City.
Well, that feels like that's an attack on Ipswich for Jordan Ayew. That does.
Can I go back? I'm going to change my change. I don't want Palace to win now because they've got sold us. I'm going to go for a West Ham win. 4-0 Man City. 4-0 Man City.
Well, to be honest with you, no surprises here, Chris. Craig Bird's gone. He's been generous. He's gave Ipswich a goal, but he has gone 4-1 to Man City, and I've gone 3-0 to Man City. Well, Scott has it a little bit different for you, Chris. It might make you feel a little bit better if you see his comment popping up there. Scott believes it's only a 2-year contract.
That's still 18 months too long. Right, well, let's have a look.
Remember Masters football, Chris?
Yes. Well, the walking league. We did well in the walking league. Look, Craig Gilbert's gone 5-0 Man City, as has indeed Neil Fessy. Easy gaming hasn't gone. We are getting 2 more in, I think. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure. Have you seen Cooper down at Brad's care home? If you see him come in, Brad, and he starts looking around the gents ward, you kind of lock him out. Man City 4, Ipswich 1, says Shane. Scott, like you say, says it's only a 2-year. I hope so. Anthony's gone 5-0 as well. John's gone 4-1 Man City. Ben's gone. Sorry, guys, just to say, we had the money and we signed Ronaldo. You'd be saying, what a signing, Chris. But with Ayew, you're annoyed. No, I can't stand Ronaldo, mate. If you want me to go support Forest, then let's sign Ronaldo. He is a total and utter wanker. I cannot stand him. I hope he retires and stays out in Saudi Arabia for the rest of his life. Man City 6, Ipswich 2, says Scott. So, funny, isn't it, how people can criticise Daka and it's all right, but then when I actually criticise somebody, I'm out of order. Work that one out. So what did you go for, mate?
What did I go for?
Yeah.
I went for a Jordan Ayew hat-trick. Man City 3, Ipswich 0.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wish Man City had bought him. That means we couldn't have done. Southampton Forest.
Oh, now this one's interesting. So I've just seen on BBC a fee could rise up to 8 million, including add-ons. Right. So 2 different fees. Right, let's put that
5 million, apparently 5 million. I mean, have you ever seen a deal done where it's 5 million and then the add-ons almost come to as much as the original fucking fee?
Yeah, but I suppose it's in the hope that the player is going to succeed and do a job and keep us up. Wow, Wayne, I think that I want to watch that game. Man City getting pushed ahead by Ipswich.
Scott, I am 100% in agreement with you, Scott. We did this remember when we signed Les Ferdinand and Martin Keown and
no, hold on. Les Ferdinand actually did bag a few goals. Martin Keown was a rat-faced wanker.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, and Dennis Wise, and what I'm saying is, I know they're all shitheads, or most of them were, not Celeste, of course. But what I'm saying is, we were buying old players. And did that help us
we
in
really,
the championship? No.
No, we really did overboard on the experienced players, didn't we, on that season? Well, a few season. So we've got to get the balance right, but that's why I'm kind of saying I think he's more of a mentor signing than anything. He'll come on, he'll do a job, he'll frustrate their defence.
Oh, Vardy. We don't need a
Yeah,
mentor.
but Vardy will do that for 70 minutes, 75 minutes. Ayew allows you to, with the greatest respect to him, because we haven't seen hardly anything of him since we've signed him, Tom Cannon I'm talking about here. It fills you with a little bit more confidence knowing that Ayew is going to get the feet of the ball. And because he's so old, Chris, it'll take him 15 minutes to turn around. So for winning 1-0, he'll be full time by the time he turns around. So there you go, Chris. Tactics up here for thinking, mate. That's what he's trying to do.
Craig, I'm going to have to ask people, if you just put in scores as like 1-1, I've absolutely no idea which game you're referring to. So I'm going to ignore and you need to put one team down so we do know which game you're referring to. Otherwise, I will ignore.
But anyway, this isn't a transfer show special. What are we talking about? Southampton
lost away at Newcastle last week. I thought Newcastle would score more, to be honest with you. And then who are they playing? Notts Forest, who got the draw with Bournemouth.
Yes, they did. Southampton, on the face of things, it seems disappointing because they were playing against 10 men for the majority of that match. Questions on the red card. I mean, it's silly to say that a footballer can't lean forward these days because in the 80s and 90s and any time before that would have applauded him for getting his face. Now they go down as if they've been shot in the skull. So regardless of that, though, they did play nearly 70 minutes against 10 men. And yes, they create the chances, Chris, but in terms of shots they had and shots on target, I didn't see it all the way to the end, but I think at one point they had like 10 shots, but only 3 on target. It didn't seem that convincing. It's a little bit worrying. Yes, Newcastle are a good side, and even beating 10 men sometimes isn't the easiest thing to do, but you'd have felt over that period of time they'd have found a way to at least nick a point in that game. Forest, obviously, first of all, horror injury. Football side things, not rivalry side here. I don't know any extended news from it, how bad the injury is. But obviously, you don't like to see that in football. It's never nice. But they were actually quite impressive. They didn't let the events happen, shake them. In fact, they took the lead, and it took a bit of a good goal from Bournemouth to kind of nick a point in the end because it saved their blushes, if you will. Southampton don't impress me. Their manager didn't impress me after that Cardiff post-match press conference that he did before they played us. When your manager's admitting defeat and saying that the automatic promotion is out of reach and have to go up the second way. Granted, they did do it that way, but to me, they were a bit lucky that they kind of got there in the end because they were awful for them last 5 or 6 games. Truly, truly awful. And I just don't know how that's affected the camp. When that mentality is your manager, how quick's he gone in that and been like, oh, wow, yeah, well, that was shit, weren't it? Couldn't get a point against 10 men. I say this through gritted teeth, Chris. I'm going to say it really quickly so only you can hear me. I've gone Southampton 0, Nottingham Forest 2.
So you've gone for a Nottingham Forest win. And can I just say to Easy, of course, if Ayew goes and scores the goal that wins us the game, I will love every inch of him. That's what football fans are. If you look up football fans in the dictionary, mate, next to it says fickle. That is so true.
It is. I can see this in about 3 months' time. Chris will have a love heart montage of Ayew when he's got 7 goals.
and you of Dakota Reed as well. I
like Dakota Reed as you do. You'll be having an RIP party.
Yeah, down the Derby and Jones. I got to agree. I wasn't impressed with Southampton. I think it'll be a tight game. I think Forest are going to struggle this season, but then again, I think Southampton will. This could be one of those last-minute ones, last game on the TV.
Last on match of the day, which won't
Yeah.
be watched by Jermaine Penis. I mean Jermaine Genius, thank God. He was
No,
about
you nearly cocked that up, didn't you?
No, I meant that was deliberate. That's what I call him.
I am going literally now, probably. I am going allegedly though. I'm going for a 0-0. I was edging towards the Forest.
He's not going for a Desmond. I'm disappointed, but I'll take it. It's just the ball, the last of the day on match of the day, as I say.
The day on match of the day. Right. Anthony's gone 2-1 Forest. Ben's still catching up with Man City. He's gone 5-1. John's gone 2-1 to Southampton. Wayne's gone, Chris, you need a fidget spinner to de-stress. Scott, I would rather have paid the extra for Edouard from Palace or taking.
Oh no, fuck off. He is Daka. He literally is the Crystal Palace Daka. They probably tried to sell him as first and then realised it won't be. If we actually want someone who knows what a goal looks like, even if he does score one every 10 years.
1-1 Forest, says Craig. Neil's gone 1-1 Southampton. Brighton wasn't that old, though, when we signed him. He's been with us. He's been with us 10 years almost, hasn't he? So
he was 24, 25 when we signed him. So
he wasn't old.
No, he was only mid-20s, weren't he?
Scott's gone for a Desmond.
Hey, unfortunately, Scott, you're not in the predictions league, so I can't have you in the 2-2 Desmond count.
Join. We might have a space. Southampton 1, Forest 3, says Wayne. He's a goal fest.
You'll be hoping Wayne's wrong.
Yes. Wayne and Bright was young and on a 3. I think Forest will be 2-1 either way. Well, there you go then. Double prediction there. Could be 2-1 Forest, but then again, could be 2-1 Southampton. That fence is going to be bending. And he's making some very good points. We did get Huth on loan first. Mark, hello, Mark. How are you? Let's just Doug's in. Eddie Nikita, he's going to Ipswich, isn't he, or Fulham or somewhere?
Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him because him and a few of the Arsenal players, I think the other one was Al Mohammadi or Al Nene or whatever his name is. I know one of them's definitely not the right name because I think he's played for Hull and Villa. I said that, but whatever his name is, all went like this to Leicester when we tried to go in for him. So stuff them. No, stay where they are. At least we've made a signing, Doug?
Hey, you beat me to that. Get in there.
Great minds think alike.
Fist bump. Go on, fist bump. There you go. Great one. Our situation doesn't help, but I'd sooner buy somebody young from, say, Northampton, at least has got a bit of fire in his belly and can run one end of the pitch to the other. Doug's gone 1-0 to Southampton. Like to be last. That's what we're saying. And Mark's just catching up with all the games. Cheers, buddy. Nikita's Forest bound. I know he was going somewhere.
That poor sod.
Yeah. I just want the window to shut. You're getting a few out, but you're not getting many in, are you?
Although to be fair, Chris, we talk about us and Tottenham in our second half. If we carry that on into the season, we'll do all right this season. If only Slot takes this team without any signings and plays like they did against Ipswich in the second half, I don't think they'll have that bad a season.
No.
Anyway,
and let's be honest with you, years ago, you didn't have to buy people.
He's frozen on my end. But I can imagine what he was saying.
I think I went then. It was my end.
But yeah, you're right, Chris. A bit like shirt sponsors, players could stay around. Squads could stay the same for years,
Yeah.
couldn't they?
Yes.
Bring back 2-season shirt sponsors. I'm sorry, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Right. Monday night's failures. Well, not failures. They got a point. Tottenham hosting Everton. Everton, there's rumours about more PSRs. Spurs failed to. I mean, look, when you have as much possession as they did, and how often have we said this about Leicester last season and in previous seasons? If you're going to dominate, you need to be scoring goals.
Yes.
If you don't do that, it's going to come back and bite you on the arse. It happens so much with Leicester under the seal, and I felt it happened for Tottenham. They should have. I mean, I predicted 3-0 to Tottenham. It could have been 4 or 5 in that first half, and it should have been. And I remember Rob Tanner saying to me, like, "Oh, he thinks Tottenham will be all right this season. They've got a striker now." Well, if that's the striker, when 9 players would have probably volleyed a shot that he tried to head, and is now out injured. I don't know Tottenham. Like you say, the word Spursy for a reason, isn't it?
Yeah, they are. Although we've got a lovely, fit and healthy 32-year-old that they could take on an emergency loan if they want.
We should be so lucky.
Yeah. Now, that aside, though, Chris, with a better striker or just a better player in general in that role, they probably do take them chances. Then again, easy games just remind me that Richarlison will be up front. So it's like having Anthony up front for Manchester United. They've got no hope. Having said that, I watched some highlights of the other games, not just match of the day, but I because how it is, panic stations hit on a result, and you think, is it really that bad? Was it really as bad as I would say, or were Brighton clinical? And they were awful. I worry that Sean Dyche is kind of doing with Everton that he did with Burnley. His methods and his ways get you so far before you because like we said, Chris, with Rodgers a little bit, didn't we? You can't just stand still in the Premier League. You can't just latch onto a winning tactic and use it again and again and again, because eventually teams figure out how to stop it working so fluidly. That's what happened to us. And not only that, but other teams, they sell players, they make signings, so they adapt their game to the new breed of players they've got in. So their way of playing changes. They get new managers, so their style of play changes because of that. Whatever the reasoning, Chris, things are always a constant in changing in football, except the name Sean Dyche and how he plays football. And what eventually happened with Burnley, apart from that one season where they got European football, which was brilliant for them, they slowly started to deteriorate, and then eventually the trapdoor went surprise. And now they're in fear of becoming the new Norwich, aren't they, with yo-yoing between the divisions. Sean Dyche did a brilliant job, whether you like it or not, through gritted teeth. He did a brilliant job in not just keeping Everton up like some Frank Lampard did, for by the skin of their teeth and some horseshoe up his arse. He had them playing good football. They stayed up quite comfortably, and even with the points deduction, they were still miles clear of safety. It was worrying against Brighton, and it was more worrying because you want to talk about old age pensioners. Well, Seamus Coleman, that actual right back, I think he's 32, 33 or whatever he is. You think, okay, time to move him on. They have, right? But they've done this worse than Leicester, Chris. They replaced him with Ashley Young, who ironically is really old, Chris, because I think he's 36 going on 37. So, and he got tore to shreds, Chris, by Brighton. He got absolutely tore to shreds. So much so that he probably realised that he had a game next week against Tottenham, who are going to be angry and want to, make up for their Monday night misfortunes. He got himself sent off. if you're playing a 36, 37-year-old Ashley Young at right back, when you have younger 30-year-olds, let alone younger talents in your youth development system to be playing at right back, and that's the sort of line that you're putting out and you're giving out such an abject performance. I said it under Frank Lampard for different reasons, but I worry that the Sean Dyche Express has reached that end where, well, people know what he's going to do now. People know how he's going to line up and try and grind out games. This is going to be a hard season for them. And despite the fact that Tottenham do Tottenham things, I, as well as Craig as well here and a few others, I've gone 3-0 Tottenham.
Wow. I'm just actually, look, guys, take a lot of what I say with a pinch of salt, because my job as running these channels, as indeed is Brad's and everybody else's that presents on the channels, is to create discussion. And I'm glad we've just got a signing in. Yeah, you know, if we've got Vardy first half, Ayew second half, then, you know, it could work. It could work. So, but I'm just looking at the post. I put a post up earlier today saying, "Is this the sort of guy you want?" This was before we signed him. And if I say it's about 80% have gone no, I would not be exaggerating. But that's it. Look, I know Spurs. Look, the Solanke is injured. I think they'll probably do better without him, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be a tough season for Everton. You know, are they going to be bought? Aren't they going to be bought? That's going on longer than Crossroads did on a, you know, bad run. And I just, you know, they've got possibly another points deduction looming as well. If Spurs cannot beat a side that's just been beat 3-0 at home, and we always said, if you remember, last time in the Premier League, Brad, we used to say how good Everton were at home. Literally, if there's ever a ground where you can say it's the 12th man, it was Goodison Park. Be beaten 3-0 by Brighton, who've got an American, and I'm no disrespect, but let me just say American in charge. They've let a player like Buenetti go to Leicester. Who the fuck have they got that's in that team? I'm sorry, if Tottenham can't do Everton at home, then they might as well pack up and go home this season.
Well, then I'd say they're in trouble as well.
Yeah, I've gone 2-0. I've gone 2-0 to Tottenham.
He's gone 2-0.
Half a Desmond.
Yeah, half a Desmond. And another weird thing as well with Everton's scenario at the moment, they've had so many failed takeovers, and I didn't know this was possible because I thought you could only own one Premier League club. But there is seemingly a loophole because somebody who is part owner, so obviously he's not full or half of, or at least owns half of. Doesn't own half of Crystal Palace, but apparently somebody who has a part ownership of Crystal Palace is now interested in buying Everton. How have they gone from multi-billionaires to someone who genuinely looks like he works in a garden centre wanting to buy Everton?
He will be selling his Palace shares. That's the thing.
Well, you'd imagine he has to do that regardless of the percentage, but it just seems a bit weird that why would you say that? Or come out and say you're interested in potentially doing it when you own part.
Well, I wouldn't be happy to be a Palace fan, would you? You know, but look, Doug is saying, Scott is saying to Doug, you can have Danny Ward if you're that desperate for a goalkeeper. I agree with that about shirts. Tottenham 3-1, and that's coming from an Arsenal fan. Good God. They will smack Everton. John,
well, they might get sent off as to do that. Not doing that.
Tottenham 3, Everton 0, says John. K-Man, I really enjoyed listening to your chat with the American Fulham fan. I love speaking to fans from other clubs because you can do the preview show because it's banter. because we all do these shows and we all know that it's never personal. You throw a bit. I mean, when I did the Spurs guy the week before I'd even got my first words out, he'd gone about the Premier League trophy and the third in a 2-horse race. Bless him, Craig has gone at 3-2. He thinks it's going to be a goal fest.
I think he's just missing two men down the pub.
No, it's a different Craig, mate.
Okay, sorry. He got that many accounts. I just assumed. Sorry, Craig.
He does have a few accounts, doesn't he? Tottenham 3, Everton 1, says Shane. He's got his hand up a cow's arse at the moment. You know what he's like, Paddy. Spurs did a Spurs. Charleston is back up. Spurs 3-1, says Scott. Anthony, Chris, is that your cider you're drinking? It certainly is. I need it. 1-1, says Neil. He's gone for a draw. Let's have a look. Spurs 1, Everton 2, says 1. Yes, 1. My eyes, I've literally had that, as I say, and they're still not 100%. Because I'm diabetic, I have to go and have an eye test every year, and they put these drops in, and I'm like, whee! Thank God I wasn't driving. Brad, please stop about age. Chris is going to mention Ayew again. He's usually having to go at my age. It's good that he's talking about somebody else. 3-0 Spurs, said Andreas, and 2-0 for Spurs, said Wayne. Now then, one of my teams that I think is going to do well, and I've got to say, look, I did not like the way Tielemans left Leicester. Everybody that follows this channel knows that. I think he really... Yes, I know. I hit it well.
You hit that well.
Yes. But no, he screwed us over. But he said he wanted to go and play Champions League football, and fair play, he's going to a team that's now playing Champions League football. Well done, Aston Villa. I remember one day when I was sat in the car park waiting to go in for my...
that sounds devious.
No, waiting. Well, it was actually believe it or not, a gym car park, but I was waiting to go in for my job centre interview because at that point I was claiming universal credit. And I was listening to in fact, it made me late. I was listening to the Aston Villa owner, and he talked so much sense. It was untrue. And I listened and I thought, yeah, he's going to do all right for Villa. He had his head screwed on. It was a case of baby steps. We're not going to go all out, And I think now they're getting the benefit. They've got a good manager in now, in Unai Emery. I think Arsenal let him go too soon, although obviously, they've got their manager in, who's just taken a contract extension. Be interesting to see what the Arteta out fans feel about that.
I can tell you, there's a certain one we know called Luca, and he was not happy about it for whatever reason. It's almost like finishing second isn't good enough for these part-time.
I mean, let's be honest with you. If it wasn't for Manchester City, who've won the fucking thing, was it 5 out of 6 times or 4 out of 5 times recently? Arsenal would have won 2 Premier League titles, and deservedly so. You just come up. You take Manchester United, you take Alex Ferguson out of Manchester United, Arsenal would have probably won a couple then as well. It's unfortunate that you're coming up against the juggernaut at the moment that is Manchester City. I've got Arsenal to win the title. I've got Aston Villa, I think, to finish 3rd or 4th, but they're certainly back into the Champions League. This could be the most dull match that I'm ever going to watch because I think it's going to be a high scoring. Yes, I am going to go for a high score draw. I'm going to go 3-3.
Boo! Boo! The tomatoes are thrown, the crowd goes nuts. 3-3.
I think it'll be a high-scoring, entertaining game, and I don't think there will be a lot. If it was at Arsenal, I would probably just edge it for Arsenal. But I do I like Villa this last season, and I like them this season. I hope they do well because of Emery. I do wish Tielemans well. And, I think this will be a very exciting game, and I think they'll both be up there at the end of the season.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a good game. I mean, Craig, our Craig, he's gone 2-1 to Arsenal. And this is probably why, this sort of game is probably why I won't win a third Premier League predictions title in a row.
Not the fact that there's more people in it.
No, it ain't got nothing to do with that, Chris. I'm just really good at Premier League stuff. But however, this would just be typical. I can almost sense the Arsenal fans getting excited, ready to lose this game, so they can come out with the Arteta out brigade and get thousands of views while some clown on Arsenal fan TV. And if you know what Arsenal fan TV, you know which clown I'm on about. He calls every player a cheat, and he's an absolute clown. I don't know if I've mentioned it enough, Chris, if you can pick up on it, but I think he's a clown. And Villa do look good. I mean, they could have, like Tottenham would have felt on Monday night, but they weren't. They could have been 2-3-0 up against West Ham before West Ham took the lead in that game. They showed the good spirit to turn it around. You know, a lot of people, me being one of them, easily kind of got the Leicester feeling for it, didn't they? Oh, well, now they've got Champions League. They'll struggle this season. They won't do bad, but they'll struggle. I think Arsenal fan TV are going to have something to get the viewer count up about, because I've got Aston Villa 2, Arsenal 1.
Ooh, interesting.
And I think it'd be just absurd for them getting rid of Unai Emery so early.
Yes. I have to say, I'm not sure which particular person you are on about. But we actually had lead judges on the channel quite a few years ago.
Not him. Definitely not him.
And I've got to be honest with you, what a lovely guy. He was really, really nice.
I'm not on about Robbie either, the main host of it either.
I love when Robbie goes on Talk Sport and has a go at Simon Jordan. Did you hear that guy that the Man United fan? Can't think of his name now. That was on Talk Sport. You know what I mean? Yes.
His name's gone from.
Yes, his name's gone from me, but he's left Talk Sport apparently.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yes, apparently he did it for the money and the views, but he didn't enjoy it.
At least honest about it.
Yeah, no, fair he is. Right. So let's have a look then. What we've got people in the chat saying. Blah 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 blah. Some people still use, but here we go. Aston Villa 1. No, Aston Villa 2, Arsenal 1, says John.
I've always liked that, John. See sense.
Craig has gone 2-2. He's gone for a Desmond. 3-3. Scott's agreed with me. Love the cut of that man's jib. I really do. Villa 2. 1 says Andreas. 2-2 says Neil. Another Desmond. Anthony. Arteta 2-2. Arteta out. 2-2 says Wayne. Oh, there's a lot of.
This will be hilarious if this is 2-2 now. I know you still get a point.
Yeah.
I know you still get a point, but it'd be hilarious if this is 2-2.
Yeah. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 1. No, Scott, Arteta spent 850 million and hasn't won a lot. You get nothing for finishing second. You weren't even finishing second, Anthony, under a certain Mr. Wenger. Wasn't it? Fourth, and fourth, I believe. In fact, I believe that they tried to rename the club Arsenal Fourth. Could be making that up, of course. Could be making that up.
They wanted to go back to Woolwich, didn't they?
Yeah. Bournemouth, Newcastle. It's down here. The Geordies. Oh, I'm sorry. Doug has just popped up. He was obviously changing a nappy. Villa 2, Arsenal 1. Bournemouth. I will hear the Geordies if I open my window. The Geordies are coming. Newcastle are visiting Bournemouth, Brad. How do you see this one?
Look, Bournemouth will be relieved that their replacement for the £65 million injury-prone man got a goal against Forest. It was a good point for them to get because, with what happened, I think people were kind of feeling a little bit for Forest, wanting them to get something from the game because of the nasty injury. And, the fighting spirit was there to kind of get a result for their player. obviously it was no intent. It was a horrible landing at what happened. But Newcastle, you know, dissimilar to what I said about their opponents on the day, Southampton, they impressed me because they dug in, you know, they got themselves in front, they showed their talent, and they're making motions within the team. You know, they've dropped, and I'm just going to do this just to wind Wayne up a little bit, and you, well, wind you up more than it would. It'll set Wayne off on laughing more than anything. They've now dropped their old 30-odd-year-old defender as the on-field captain, Kieran Trippier. You know, they've said that his mind started to go at that age because it all does. So he's no longer the outfield captain, and that's still now Joe Linton, and Bruno Guimaraes is taking the in-house captaincy. How you can have two captains, I don't know. I don't really get that role, but anyway, they've decided to go with youth over the OAPs. And I think Eddie Howe has proven a lot of people wrong. And again, myself included. I had a funny feeling that the Saudi owners would get a little bit bored after a couple of seasons of him steadying the ship and then getting them in Europe. Because they had some great games in Europe against PSG and that. They just had an unfortunate run in it, to be perfectly honest with you. They've stuck by him. They've trusted him to buy players. He strengthened the team to not only beat 10 men, but to score a game. You know, to not only win with 10 men, but to be level and get yourself in front whilst you have 10 men. It's quite impressive. And I feel like this is one of them where Newcastle will keep the edge. I still think Bournemouth will get a goal in it, but I think it'll make the scoreline look a lot kinder. I've gone 2-1 to Newcastle, and Craig's gone 3-1 to Newcastle.
If
so I just put 2-2 down now.
No. I'm not gone for a draw. If anybody's interested, I came across this, and I go down a lot of YouTube rabbit holes, but I also go down a lot of iPlayer rabbit holes as well. And I end up watching a thing about the guy that is now the Saudi prince, you know, the ruler of the kingdom, and it's obviously an outright ruler. And how he got there, because he was like an outsider, he was something like 50th in line, and it all worked out. He ended up, he's now the ruler. And what he is doing in that country, and with regards to sport, because of course they've had boxing over there just recently, the big world heavyweight title fight over there. Obviously, what they're doing with the football, it's a very interesting. It's a two-parter. If you're not bothered about the history about how he got to be the king, just watch the second part, because it does talk about how he's changing the country and what he's trying to do with sport and entertainment, and basically make Saudi more of a pleasant country. I mean, I know in Taliban run Afghanistan, apparently women are not now allowed to look at another man, literally look at another man. I mean, how are they going to...
Is this tangent on Saudi Arabian promotion going anywhere with a score prediction, Chris?
No, give me my chance. I'm just having a bit of a moan here.
You
can't talk to me. You've got the longest answers on this channel.
Yeah, that's what I was doing yesterday, and I took 3 hours. But anyway, go on, Chris.
But no, but it is interesting. It is absolutely interesting. What you don't know, guys, is in the middle of that, he has got a copy of Playboy. Now, hang on, it's coming up. It's coming up. There we go. Look. Right. It's well worth a watch. That's all I'm saying. I'm going. You're going to love this. You are going to absolutely love this. Because I'm going 2-1 Newcastle.
So even if you get one result that's 3 points, you're guaranteed to give me 3 points as well. I like your man's jib.
Indeed, I am. Yes.
I like your style, Chris.
Right, let's have a look what people have been saying. He's gone 2-1. Oh no, 3-1 Newcastle. Sorry, Andreas has gone 2-1 Newcastle. Neil's gone 2-0 Newcastle. Anthony's gone 2-1 Newcastle. Scott's gone 4-1 Newcastle. Wow. As indeed has Wayne's gone 4-1. 2-1 to Newcastle has gone John. Shane has gone 2-1 to Newcastle. 3-1 to Newcastle, says Doug. And then they all start talking about Afghanistan. I've got spiked interest. 2-1, I think, is the popular result there, Brad.
It does seem that way. So watch it be the one that nobody gets any points on.
Yes. You know what? Bournemouth 4, Newcastle 0 now.
I've just said that was brilliant. We both said the exact same score prediction.
We should be allowed a point if it is 4-0 now to Wolves. We should be allowed a point. Wolves-Chelsea. Wolves hosting Chelsea, who actually managed to win a game eventually. How can you turn round? I mean, I saw Enzo say the other day, if there's an opportunity to buy a number 9, I would like one. Well, surely you can just go into that room that you call a dressing room where all the players are like that because they can't move, and just say, is anybody playing in number 9 position here? And somebody might just go like that. You might actually have one, Enzo. It's fucking stupid. 45 players they've got. And still buying. And then to turn around and say, Sterling, all right, Chilwell, whether we like him or not, Sterling and Chilwell, you're not good enough, you're training with the kids.
Yeah, ridiculous. I think the ego has got out of range. And, well, we all know he'll be out of a job by October anyway, so it won't matter. But it is very strange. And, like, you know, as you know, Chris, and some people might not, but my dad is, sadly, he's a Wolves fan, but someone's got to, I guess. And I watched the game with him. I know, because there was nothing else on. And to be fair, Arsenal scored a good first goal to give them the lead, but they weren't overawed by Arsenal. They weren't the most creative of side by any stretch of imagination. And in a weird sort of way, what happened to them could have happened to us against Tottenham. But thankfully, we were playing the Spursy side of that London derby, not the Arsenal side, because, Wolves had a couple of chances, and just when they started turning the screw, funny enough, my old man went, this is where they go and score now and nick it, and kill the game off. And they did. Chelsea got booed off at half time, and fans were moaning about the ball going backwards all the time. Where have we heard that about this Chelsea manager, Chris? Where have we heard that before? Backwards ball?
I'm not sure.
Playing football?
I seem to remember it, though, but I can't remember where.
Yeah. Didn't we have a chant? Something like playing football the backwards way? I mean,
I got told off for doing that. I put that up.
Oh,
I took the Enzo song. Well, how did it get going? No, going up, Leicester City. I was going down, Leicester City. I mean, we did try and warn Chelsea. Chelsea fans, look, I went on a Chelsea fans channel. You came on mine. We were very honest. We told you what you were getting. But look, I mean, I think Chelsea. Well, we know how they get around the rules. We do know with them, but I just think, are they the most hated club in the country at the moment?
They have to be, and that's an impressive feat to be the most hated club when the likes of Manchester United are in this division.
And Manchester City, with the way they behave as well.
And John's just brought up another shocking stat that actually, if you go back and probably check through all the stats, I know Chris salivates at the idea of stats, but if you looked at the amount of opportunity, if you looked at the amount of opportunities we conceded last season, it wasn't actually too surprising, Chris, because a team that nobody knows. I thought they were playing a bag of serviettes when I saw the name until I read it properly. They've had 22 shots, Chris. They shouldn't be having 22 shots against a team like Chelsea if they played them 10 times. Let's be honest with you. All right, Neil, fair point, but definitely Premier League, they're one of the most hated club. They are the most hated club. I don't think this is too much of a shock as it would have been a few seasons ago, Chris. I actually was impressed with Wolves to a degree. I thought they were never really out of the game, and I don't think Arsenal ever overruled them, but they did lose. However, Straight back down, Enzo's going. Straight back down, I say. Straight back down, Enzo's going. He's taking Chelsea all the way. Wolves 2,
Oh,
Chelsea
you
0.
finished. You're going 2-0.
2-0 to Wolves. And I don't care if I don't get any points of it. I just don't want to give Chelsea any this season in my own mind.
No. I mean, they're away from home. Were they at home against the Handkerchiefs?
I believe so, against Man City. Yes, they were.
No, I mean Servette or whatever it was.
No, it was away. It was away. Was it at Stamford? Because I remember the picture they took of the guy who scored their first goal. It was where the Chelsea fans were. I'm fairly certain with all the jokes that were made, they were travelling to this game.
Right. I'm not impressed with Wolves. I don't like the new manager. I've got them to go down this season. That said, they're playing Chelsea.
It's like a
I am turning into Steve Lynix here with a couple of my predictions there. Like, I don't care who, Chelsea could be playing Rochdale. I'd still go for a Rochdale win. But I look, we know Chelsea are a joke. And yes, maybe in the Premier League, they are the most hated team. I know I'd say in all the divisions, but I am going. I think that Enzo is going to get lucky. I'm going for a 1-1.
You really? I hope all these draws aren't draws. I know the ones you said 2-1 are all 2-2s. You deserve it for abandoning Desmond.
Would you take Chilwell? I mean, we couldn't afford him because of his wages, I'm guessing. But
no, I'd rather play Luke Thomas because he'll go forward with the ball. Chilwell has the same problem that Chelsea fans hated that we hated, but that we got annoyed with him. If he gets marked within 5 yards or 10 yards of him, he can't go forward. He needs a clean run it down that left wing. So I wouldn't take him. We've got Christensen, we've got Justin, we've got Luke Thomas, and I'd rather play any of them three over him. God's honest truth.
Talking of Christian, did you see his celebration when we scored?
I loved it, mate. I loved it. And this is why I was a bit defensive of him when people said, oh, we could just sell Christensen. He didn't want to be here anyway. Yes, he did. A bit like the way Sterling and that's been treated.
Yes.
He was told, you're going to have to play as an inverted wing back. But I don't really want him. It's not my style. There's no way I get into... No, there's not. Oh, okay, then I guess I'll go out alone. Cooper's welcoming him back in with open arms. He even gave 10-15 minutes to Samare, didn't he? So all I'm saying is, and his celebration just shows you the happiness on his face. I'm really glad we're not sat here talking about Christensen as one of the players who could have been. You know what I mean? One we let get away.
I like Christensen.
My man of the match, weren't he, mate?
Sorry?
He was one of my man of the match. He was my man of the
match.
He
was up. Well, he could have been one of mine, but I didn't give it to him.
He was one of your 5-10 ratings, weren't he?
I mean, he just had a fantastic game. He's younger than Luke Thomas, so he, I know. Hold the back page. Leicester have got a young player. I know what you're thinking, but we have. But yeah, so he is. I like him, and I think he played really, really well. I don't think he wanted, like you say, he didn't want to go. He was forced out, but he wouldn't have got any game time. Didn't fit into the manager's plans, fair enough. Glad to see he's fitted. But I tell you, that's the one thing you cannot teach and that or train into a player, and that is passion.
Yeah, very
true.
And
what I will say about Jordan Ayew, Gordon, that was his brother, Jordan Ayew, and Skip, and Dakova Reed, they want to be here.
Yes.
We're not being messed around. So fair play to all of those, young, old, whatever. They want to be here. Mind you, probably want to be here because we give them a long contract because they're OAPs.
Whatever the reasons, Chris, as long as they put the effort in when we pick them.
Yeah. Wayne, all the best, mate. Chelsea were at home.
Even more embarrassing then, because could you imagine they go away and struggle?
Yeah.
Do you remember who was it we lost to in the Europa Conference? Who we played that dodgy team name and they beat us at their place.
Blunt Glimt to somebody, wasn't
No. They knocked out Celtic, which was even funnier.
No,
It was something like something L. Oh, I can't remember the name. Or began with a Z or something like that. It was a strange name.
Oh, Zoya Zahensk or something from Ukraine.
Yeah, and they actually came out with shirts with it printed on at full time. They were that happy to beat us. So you never know, do you, Chris? I mean, imagine that. He'll be sacked after that if they lose.
They did. They will. Right, Doug's team, Liverpool at home against Brentford. Brentford have been splashing the cash a little bit as well, Brad.
They, unfortunately, I think they're in that soap opera moment with Ivan Toney. Will he? Won't he? Won't? Isn't it, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
I am very surprised that somebody in the division hasn't offered or chucked 30 million, 40 million odd at them, because this is the only opportunity they're realistically going to get to sell, because they won't get anything for him in January because his contract's run out. He's obviously not going to sign another one. They're in risk of doing having a Tillemans done on them. And if I heard it rightly, their replacement signing they got to replace him, he's injured. So it's a little bit worrying for Brentford. I know they had a good result. Chris, they won 2-1, not Crystal Palace. But
who is he?
Yeah, anyway, this is a Liverpool squad that after the first 45 minutes against Ipswich, got a rollicking rightly off the manager and looked like Liverpool had woken up and turned up, and they were a different class in the second half. Let's be honest with you. And I think this transfer saga can affect the club's mentality and other players' mentality. Somebody who may have been, and it is a tactic that happens, but sometimes players are signed in the hope that will keep a player. Funny we mentioned him. I think can't remember the player who it was, but I think they signed Arteta, this club, and Fairs. I'll give you that, Fairs. And they hoped a player. I think it was Alonso or something like that. And so they'd hoped he'd stay, and then he buggered off to come and join, Liverpool for a couple of seasons. Anyway, my point being is Liverpool look good. I think there's a distraction in the camp with Ivan Toney. Maybe if Tottenham didn't waste 65 million on a one-season wonder injury-prone Solanke and maybe spend 15 million pounds less on Ivan Toney, they wouldn't have the headache. They'd be going, well. Having said that, I think Liverpool come out in full force, and I'm going 3-1 to Liverpool.
Ooh.
Which is also what Craig went for as well.
Yeah, a very high scoring game there.
Yeah. And to recap, Craig went 2-1 Chelsea as well, just so people know.
Right. Okay. Look, Liverpool always seemed, Doug will tell you, Liverpool always seemed to get one of the new boys on the opening day. So it's potential banana skins all the time. You cannot do that after what you've just done. But
they prepared myself for it, mate.
They soaked the pressure up against Ipswich, which is what a good team should do, and they came out on top over 90 minutes. Look, we all know with Spurs being good for 45 minutes just doesn't get you anything. I am going to go. I think you're right about Brentford. I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool.
Oh, that was a quick response. There you go. 2-0 Liverpool, was that?
Yes. Liverpool 2, Brentford 0.
There you go then.
Scott said that Chelsea should have gone for McKenna. He wasn't going to go. He didn't want to leave to go anywhere. If he turns down Man United, where he was a coach and what have you, I don't think he would have gone to Chelsea. Winks, he celebrated well. Anyway, Scott's gone 2-1 to Brentford. Whoa, Scott. Craig's gone 2-1 to Liverpool. 3-0 has gone Liverpool Neil. 2-1 Andreas. Shane has gone 3-0 Brentford. Liverpool 3-0 Liverpool, sorry. John has gone 3-1 to Liverpool. Craig's going to have to shoot off. Thanks very much, which is why he's put his Leicester 1-0 result in earlier. Joe is in. Hi, Joe. Tell too big for their boots, Brentford, that playing good plays is an automatic points deduction. And free signing for Leicester in January. There we go. Right, we've got one game left. You don't have to guess who it is, but we will be looking at it straight after this.
The Premier League is back, and we've got it all covered here on Leicester Till I Die TV. Subscribe.
Hello, Matt Elliott here.
Hi, Alan Smith here.
Hey guys, Ian Hume here.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here.
Be sure to watch
Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV
for all the latest Leicester City news and information.
You can also subscribe on YouTube and various social media channels.
for the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Come on, you foxes!
I love the fact that Jerry Taggart's in his car outside the golf club.
That's brilliant. Good old Tags. You can't fault him, can you?
You can't. He was so upset because he forgot to do it, and then he was late doing it. And I said, like, there's no timeline or anything. But he said, I've got 5 minutes. I'm going to do it now, and he did it in his car. Bless him. Fulham against Leicester City. A return very, very quickly for Dakova Reed. And also, we're going to be meeting up with old Timothy Castagna.
Yeah, there's a player who I hope falls down a set of stairs and pulls his groin. For how quickly he ran out the door. In fact, I think after that 5-3 defeat, he practically moved his kit and his kids and his family into Craven Cottage. He wanted out that quickly. But at least we did get some money for him. I guess that's one little thing you can say about it. I nipped onto your preview show with the American Fulham fan last night. It was a good show. And I said I was more worried about Fulham than I was Tottenham. Because while you play Tottenham in the way Tottenham are, you've always got a little bit of hope, haven't you? You've always got a little bit of hope that they'll Spurs it up, which, they probably will admit they did a little bit. And we got a result against them. Fulham worry me for a lot of reasons. I like the manager. Marco Silva is a very good manager. He's proven that at any club he's been at.
Even Everton.
Well, yeah, but he was an agent there. He was trying to get them relegated, and he did all he could. But no, he's been fairly good at Fulham, and they've made some really good signings, some under the radar signings that haven't really been spoke about. Emil Smith Rowe,
excellent signing.
Yes, but if they can keep him fit for this season, he could. That could be a. I don't want to say a revival in his career because he's in his early 20s, he's in mid-20s, isn't he? So you shouldn't be saying that, but that's how it. That's what they'll be hoping for from him. I'm sure. Fulham fans out. They made another signing yesterday, I believe it was, whose name's evading me, but he's a very good player. So good I forgot his name apparently. So they've made some very good signings. They're very difficult to beat, Fulham. And like I said, you said it, Chris, poor finishing against a very poor Manchester United performing side. They could have come away with a point, if not more. I let my Leicester heart roll my head because I will stand by what I said in that chat last night. I will be ecstatic with a point because we did it, didn't we? And if you haven't seen it, go and watch our post-match breakdown of the Tottenham game with the tactical side of things. We go and watch that because in that show you brought up our next. Was it 6 games? And we were saying 7 to 9 points or 5 games. Sorry, we'd be happy with 7 to 9 points considering who we're playing. And I would definitely take a point. One of them points being against Fulham on Saturday. And apparently Craig agrees with me in that statement because he went 1-1. However, if the master at predicting Leicester to do things is me, and you should always follow my homework on this one, guys. I'm just saying, I don't know why. I'm one of them where someone said it earlier when they predicted 2-1, it could go either way. But I'm going to let my Leicester heart rule my head, and I'm going 2-1 to Leicester.
Sorry, I was just looking to see if there was a prediction anywhere on the horizon.
I thought you was looking for the short answer.
No, that went out after about 2 minutes. Oh dear. Right. Interesting, because I was speaking to Russ, he was called, the Fulham fan from Cottage Talk. He's American, based in America. Who knew? Boston. Really, really, really nice guy. He was tight for time, but he was really answering the questions honestly. And he has a great respect for Leicester. He made the point that Timmy Castagna, little Timmy, that Timothy Castagna wasn't an automatic starter.
I'm not surprised. It was crap for us. He was so far up his arse.
Well, it was. That is very true. I was. You beat me to that. I'll cross that off my notes, so I don't need to say that anymore. But he wants him to. He is very impressed with him. So we might not actually see him start tomorrow. Although I always think in a way you're best giving an ex-player the chance to start. Look, and when you look at the season and you look certainly at the first 5 games, you're thinking, well, we might pinch something off Tottenham because Tottenham are Spursy, even though I went 3-0 Spurs. And then you're looking again, we could win this, and that's one we should be looking at winning. And this is one that we should be looking to win. Unfortunately, I've agreed with you because I've gone 2-1 Leicester.
Yeah, good lad. I'd rather you get no points knowing I've got the same. Or vice versa, getting 3 points knowing I'm going to get the same than you getting a little one up on me. I like the cut of this man's jib, ladies and gents.
So Craig, who had to shoot off, he went 1-0 to Leicester. Scott has gone for a Desmond. He's got a few Desmonds in there today, Scott, hasn't he? As indeed has John. He's gone for a Desmond as well. Neil's agreed with us. He's gone 2-1 Leicester. Doug, I don't like that man anymore.
These Scottish Liverpool fans, you can't trust them, can you? They don't know football. They're only used to seeing Celtic and Rangers win every week. They don't know.
Like I always say, fucking build Hadrian's Wall again. Keep them up there.
No.
Sorry, Doug. You know I love you, mate. Unfortunately, Fulham won't lose their bottle like ours, so got to get a result. We have to be dead good, just not dead. Will Ayew be able to play tomorrow?
Don't set him off, Scott.
I think he was too late, if I'm honest with you.
No, you need to be registered
by lunchtime Friday. I'm sure.
Yeah, I think there's a 2:00 cut-off because it has to be 24 hours before a kick-off time. So to give it its paperwork and due diligence, I think it has to be before 2 p.m. on the Friday. Tranmere Rovers, 27th, Tuesday. That's when you'll see Jordan Ayew play. And he'll probably need to come off to take his meds and take a nap at
If you're wondering what that is, just near Leicester's dugout, it's an oxygen tank. I'm looking forward to this. Apparently, a lot of Spurs fans have been very nice about Skip. And also, in fairness to Ayew, a lot of Crystal Palace fans have been very complimentary towards him as well.
No, probably because both sets of fans were happy they've left.
Well, I was thinking that, but you know, the way that they were with Vestergaard and the way that they were with Bennett, not Bennett, who was he? Who was the other guy we signed with Vestergaard? Ryan
Bertrand, as you call him.
That's it, Bertrand. They were glad to see the back of them. Although, did you see Vestergaard got into the Championship Team of the Year last season? So well done to him.
Yeah, you never know.
I think Skip and Winks could play well together. Shane has gone Fulham 1, Leicester 1. Joe's gone 2-1 to Fulham. So there we go. Then I need some points. From somewhere. And just to say, guys, it's a double header tomorrow at 12 o'clock on the dot. we'll be getting the lowdown on Ayew. Look at that. I spent ages putting the right head onto a Leicester shirt, only for him to go and bloody sign beforehand, so I didn't have bothered because he'd been a Leicester shirt anyway. But 12 o'clock tomorrow, lunchtime, lowdown on Ayew. That's Rich from Eagle Eye TV. He's a great guy. I think he looks like Lionel Richie. He will be coming on and telling us all about him, hopefully, and hopefully it will be good. And then at 2:15, our first away day of the season, Fulham versus Leicester. Kicks off at 3. I'll be here at 2, and we'll be going through all the pre-match. Will you be with us tomorrow, Brad?
I will at some point because I am working tomorrow. So by the time I get home, give me a chance to sort out. I should be with you from 2 o'clock. If just go on as someone says.
That'll be very good because I won't be here at 2. We don't start till 2:15.
Well, what I mean is, normally you like to be like that. What I mean is, as the hero of the story always says when he falls behind, go on without me if I'm not there on time. But I should join you moments before kick-off, knowing my luck. Yeah. Although I might have to fight my dad for the fire stick to try and watch the game.
Do stay on because I want to ask you about that. Brad, thank you very much, young man. How can people follow you?
Well, they can leave me alone to start off with. Stop standing outside my window. No, they can follow me on. They can follow me on Twitter because I'm not going to call it its new name. It's stupid. Follow me on Twitter at Fulltime Focus. You can find me here because Chris can't get rid of me, and you can also find us on our sister channel, the home of football quizzes. When I get a chance to do it with my work schedule and moving back over to Leicester and everything, but there will be football quizzes coming, I promise, on LTID TV too. So I appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Brad. I will speak to you in a few minutes. Take care. Cheers now.
Take care, everybody, and take care, Chris.
There we go. Brad, so 12 o'clock tomorrow, we will find out. Is he any good? Is he old or is he experienced? That is what I will be asking Rich from Eagle Eye TV. Then, of course, like I say, 2:15 for the watch along. So thank you to everybody that was in. Really, really do appreciate it. Everybody that's been joining in and having a laugh and a giggle with us all. Really do appreciate it. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much, Neil. That means a lot. Really do appreciate that. Many thank you. So I say basically thank you to all, everybody that's watched and joined in. If you have been listening via your favourite podcast platform, please do come back. And thank you for lending us your ears. And if you were watching it on catch up, stick your comments below. Really do appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow, 12 o'clock, for the Ayew hour. Does that sound right? Fingers crossed. Let's hope we can get our first win tomorrow, get that under our belt, and then it's all done and dusted. Look, this has been LTID TV. I've been Chris, and I will be back. Good night.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.